Can't seem to get along with the glute bridge? Here are some ways to troubleshoot it. So in this position, the correct setup is you want to have your feet that they're roughly hip bone width apart. If you have your arms down by your side, this is one way to check. Take them up so that you can see that they're hip bone or sort of shoulder width apart. If you bring them down like a guillotine, your feet should not be on the outside of them. They should be nicely just tucked in between, okay? So that's what we want to do for width. Then in terms of how far away from your bum, you kind of want to just be able to like just about brush the backs of the heels with your fingertips without kind of straining to come down to one side or the other. And that way, when we come all the way up, so when we come up, think about squeezing through the glutes first, especially if you've got a bit of a painful lower back. Just activating those glutes first can really help. Push through the heels. Well, you're going to push through the sort of, you don't want those toes to be up. You want to sort of feel like you're pressing through the heels to come up. So that when you're in this position, the knees are kind of roughly just over those ankles. This is the position that we want to be in. Now, things that you want to avoid doing is putting extra strain on your lower back. So if your lower back is a little bit achy, then just double check where your bum is. Because if it's up like this, then that immediately can put a little bit of strain through that lower back. So just take it down ever so slightly. If you're still feeling this pain, then think about what you can do to stop that lower back muscle from being overly used. And that is to engage with the glutes, draw these ribs down and think about engaging through those stomach muscles. Often what happens is that we get a little bit lazy with how we do our exercises and we might just kind of do them mindlessly. And therefore it's really hard to actually think about how and what muscles we are using. But to really combat that, you want to think about squeezing through the glutes, pushing through the feet, coming all the way up, also engaging through those stomach muscles. Come all the way down and up. There's two ways to come up and down. You can either come all the way up or you can roll down, like you're peeling yourself off the ground. To be fair, either way in this for glute bridges is absolutely fine. What to do if you're getting cramp. So some people end up getting cramp through the calf muscles or in the hamstring just under here. If that's happening to you, just check that those feet aren't too far away. If you can, just bring them slightly closer in towards your bum. That is one way of doing it. Another is to then direct your attention from the backs of these legs, because sometimes people focus on squeezing through the backs of the legs rather than actually a focus on the glutes. Backs of the legs are also going to work, but there is a big difference between where you take your focus. If you take your focus to the backs of the legs and they're not strong enough, they might cramp up. So just use and like tweak your technique to see if that kind of helps offset any issues that you've got. If you've got any other issues, let me know.